it over. Let's get it started. Let's go to the good old Oregon.
Now, are we going to see standard bans with your Jackal, your Thatcher? So,
Well, I expect a Thatcher and a Flores sort of ban to be set in play downstairs. That's your normal sort of ban setup, and that's what you sort of expect to be coming out from both these teams. As well as on the defensive side, you expect your Mirrors, you expect your Valkyrie, you expect your Azami, and we've seen a lot of Solus being banned recently. With the teams and the caliber of the teams that we currently have in play, we expect to see a lot of that sort of play style, a lot of that sort of setup.
yeah, we're going to see out Flores, a very, very, very common ban to be taken out inside of Oregon. Obviously, that downstairs, Flores proving quite valuable. Nook, a bit of an interesting one coming out from Panic. I would usually assume Panic to be usually Nuki to be over on that Nook. So interesting to see them banned out in the mirror, as predicted, as always.
Well, the mirror obviously coming in as a ban. That's a really good operator for the downstairs sort of area. And I believe the last ban, is it going to be... Say again, sorry?
Look at it, you're right. We're going to be looking at that Solus.
As usual, Solus to be the final ban. Now, unfortunately, we can't see anything here on my side at the moment, but we should be able to see something soon. And then we can get started into this first round. There we go.
Anything.
Nice and easy.
I'm so very sorry.
You're all good, my friend. First round number 1, basement laundry, basement supply will be the first point of call. Most teams do like to play around with the side of choice. We've seen them go back to front. We've seen them go middle to back and all of that type. Regardless, though, we'll start to see a basic sort of setup coming in from Riot. So, downstairs, it's a hard site to push, but will Panic be able to do so?
We're going to be seeing... I was so excited to see that Amaru get sticked. But unfortunately, Universe is going to be swapping out over onto the Yana. I'm going to be seeing the Osa brought out. So I wonder if that Osa is going to be played over on Elbow. Or whether it's going to be played over towards that main Freezer side. Doesn't really narrow down what the type of push we could have. But glad to see that. Oh, that's just going to be swapped out for Habana. Going to prove to be very difficult to get utility off with that Cade on the ball.
Here we go. We'll start to see the first round for Riot versus Panic as ACOG will begin making his move up. Tesla getting a little bit aggressive on that blue bunker. He looks to try and find some sort of peak angle onto the good old ACOG setup there. As on the opposite end, the Oryx, good old Az is playing all the way upstairs in preparation and set up to counteract any sort of push coming from Wizardry. But regardless, it looks like one player also going to be outside on the armory. It's going to be good old Nuki who's going to make his way in. So the first point of contact that we expect to see will be Az's versus Nuki. And I think it will 100% be heard by Nuki here. The peak goes to be played. Will they be able to spot it out? Az is almost making the drop. Will spot the feet of a player inside or just outside a kitchen, I should say. As now... the call will come through, so immediately Universe, he's going to be able to hear that. Maybe looks to pull back from that position until he can confirm that that player has been removed. But on the opposite end, it's going to be Wizardry going up against Az's. He'll take a lot of damage. As now the peak will come in. He confirms the kill, so it's a trade 1-for-1. But now the Dokkaebi has all the cams in the world.
And Iliak going to be able to find out Tesla, who's waiting for the extra kill. But all in all, a very good time waste from Riot right here. The only unfortunate part is that your smoke is off the board now. Now you've got no utility to deny your plants, and you've got to rely solely on the 1C4 from Rilla. And that's about it, really.
Well, 60 seconds remain on the board as we continue through here. ACOG's going to be able to find a piece of Shiro's. He takes off the head, rips it straight off. ACOG's going to start making the move in. He'll be able to take down Flux. One member remaining. It's all on Rella, but he will be taken out as ACOG swiftly dispatches the head of Rella. And immediately, Panic, they're going to find their first round.
Just like that, easily done. Panic take their first one with pretty much little to no issues. And it looks like we're going to be heading up to kids' dorms. Riot deciding that, yeah, look, that site wasn't for us. Let's go somewhere else, get a round win, and maybe head back there and see what we can do about it. Bit of a standard lineup coming out from Riot. Nothing too interesting on the board. Those Goyo canisters going to prove to be a massive issue late round if Panic isn't very quick to deal with them.
Well, this is what you expect coming from Riot with their basic sort of setup and basic sort of play style. You immediately go through to the different site. If the first site doesn't work, don't worry about it. Go through to a different site. Get the wins where you need to. As soon as you can get those wins, you'll be perfectly fine to continue moving through regardless. Final seconds of the preparation phase as we'll start to see the roam coming in from Rella, as it looks like he'll be playing a bit of a extension roam all the way out in towards Little Tower, expecting the push to come through. But Nuki will start making his way up nice and easily. And the drone just being missed there by good old ACOG. But how interesting is this? Shiro is going to get a little bit aggressive. He wants to play close. He has the rotate to be able to fall back through, but he needs to be careful. If that ace gets up on top, it may cost him his life. Then again, though, the drone's going to come through, so they'll spot out one. He knows he can just play this position for a little bit, but is deciding to make the educated guess and fall off. Maybe peek the angle from a long distance, as we'll start to see ACOG opening up into attic. Long angles being made. The two hard breaches immediately being opened up. So a bit of a peak position is going to be done there, as the Wamaya Flux will be the first person to counteract any sort of playstyle. On the opposite end, Dokkaebi is going to be pushed in. And now comes the problems for Azza.
This is actually some really, while Panic have to see some good control, Riot are doing really well to like maintain themselves and not over-aggress, over-peak, or just do anything wrong. They're sort of waiting for Panic to make the over-aggressive push. And they're going to be able to get that reinforcement off perfectly. Absolutely beautifully played from Cyro. Beautiful time waste. And Rella going to be opening us up on the round. Those Ying's going to come through. Going to prove it to make people absolutely blind and completely unaware. Tesla going to be refragged out. And it's just kills back and forth.
Universe able to find two.
The kid's gone cold.
Shiro will be able to find one. Iliak's able to find one. Azus is able to find one onto Iliak. Now it's down to a 2v1. And they know the position of Universe. Gonna have a little bit of a sound problem in the left side. He won't be able to hear much if he's hearing that through his game. Regardless, though, he's on the search and wants the two players to make a pick. If he can find one player and single it down to a one-on-one, it will be easier for Universe to make a play, but he needs to be careful here. The pick's going to come through. He will be able to find one. So this makes it down to a 1v1. As is in the perfect position to try and make his position known. He knows the player's position now, thanks to the alibis. But it's all down to this last 15 seconds. A plant is going to be attempted, as now Azus, he'll make the push forward. So the position is now going to be known. Universe will make the peak, but Azus will find the kill, and Riot will tie it immediately back up.
I think this might just be going back and forth. As I said, we might see an OT here.
Universe saying he can't hear anything. The Wamai bug really being a big issue in play for both of these teams. Regardless, though, it's immediately... It was everyone. There you go. Even we heard it as the casters. It's not just your fault there, Universe, but it is what it is. You got to play around it, and you have to find the kills. Regardless, we're now going down a bunker again.
As I said, Riot, just get that round win, head back downstairs, and get yourself up 2-1. That's all they got to do. I'm sure they had time last round to have a bit of a chat, work out what went wrong. I'm going to particularly call the bit of over-aggression from Tesla. Hopefully he's learnt to just chill on side a little bit and keep that utility for the end of the round. But Riot, hey, they messed up first time, but they're ready this time, and I'm excited to see how they go. Looking at a very similar lineup from Panic, so should Riot make the right calls and make the right adjustments, could prove to be quite troublesome for for our good friends over at Panic.
I mean, you can already see the changes being put into play there. Aziz is now the one that's going on the main sort of roam as he did the first round, but it looks like they're putting him more pressure on him to perform, and obviously he's shown that he can operate with that pressure. 3-1 is a really good position after just 2 rounds. But in saying that, regardless of how you look at the situation, Riot barely winning that last round. And as a result, a bit of utility being used by Shiro there, as Iliak will be able to find the first kill. That will be onto Flux, who will get picked off nice and easily. So that will make it a little bit harder for Riot to find any sort of positioning, and it's all going to be down onto Aziz here. He's got a lot to look for and a lot to find. Expecting Nuki to be in armory, won't see the player positions. But as I said, Panic, they were able to find so much in those first 2 rounds. I mean, Universe with 3 kills, Iliak with 3 kills, ACOG with 3 kills, Nuki with 1 kill. It shows that they definitely have the ability to just completely dominate and roll over an enemy team. And they need to be careful, especially coming into this second round, regarding how the rest of these team members play. As is playing a beautiful roaming position, can just wait for the players to make any sort of movements.
They don't know that Ace has just left, and Syro able to get the flank up big tower stairs. He's just going to get the kill and leave. Panic absolutely in shambles here. They still think people are upstairs, not realizing that everyone's just rotated back to site.
Well, with 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining, they can still keep all of their players at this stage just down onto the site. Don't really need to make too many peaks, don't really need to make too many angles here. And Panic will be in a panic by now, trying to confirm that they can get as much opened as quickly as possible. They need to clear open these sites very, very quickly and as fast as possible. Nades will start to come through downstairs as the 1v1 between Universe and Iliak will be put into play. A good nade will find the position, but it's not going to be found just yet. One player is going to be downstairs already set. It will be Universe as the rest of his teammates start to back himself up, as he will make the slow push in. One player pushing down Freezer as well, may be able to spot one, but the kills coming quick and fast. Rel is able to find 2, Az is able to find 1, and Tesla will clear it all up and finish off the round. Shotgun to the back, as Riot will find their second round.
See, I was right. Just gotta go upstairs when you're around, come downstairs when you're around. So Riot starting to get comfortable, worked out how Panic tend to play their aggressive roam clears, and sort of just adapting to it and shutting it down really quickly.
Well, Riot in a good situation for now, able to pick up those 2 rounds. So now they'll move up to Meeting Hall and Kitchen. But immediately after this, they will have the second site unlocked, which was the good old dorms. So we expect to see a lot of the players going straight back up to dorms. If they can secure this round, it's the same situation as Cafe. They will be in a very, very good position up against Panic. But then again, it all depends on how it comes down to the attacking side. We saw a little bit of a slip up in the last game between the side of Arena versus, I've forgotten their names. Oh no, what were their names?
LFO?
LFO. Thank you so much there, good old Ling.
I've got you, don't worry.
But yeah, it all depends on the playstyles that really come through. If you could secure 5 rounds now, you're in a really good set for the next half. You only need to secure 2 rounds. But if Panic can find 2 more rounds, if not 4 rounds, 3 rounds, correction, they will be in a really good set for their half. So it all depends on how the next few rounds end up going. especially after the round after this.
Syra getting absolutely swarmed on that T2. He's suddenly realized that, hey, maybe this isn't for me, but he's still going to stay aggressive. He's still going to play inside of that T1. Mute's closely behind him. The mute of Tesla close by to give him that support if needed, but he's just going to... they're just going to give that control up. It usually happens early on. You do a bit of aggression, then give it up to them, because that's a very hard point to defend.
Well, it's the back and forth sort of struggle that we always like to see there, as we'll start to see the push coming in. Universe, I don't think he's been left in check. I don't think they actually know that he is in this position. He's going to be made by Rella, so I believe Rella may know, but the site is still downstairs, so a lot has been gained by Panic, but not enough to be considered full control, as the push will start to come through. But Shiro, he is in the perfect position to try and find this player. The peek's going to be made, and he'll just immediately fall off. That is the perfect idea, as the back and forths will go into play. Iliak's going to be dropped down, and that will be enough for a nade to be sent through. But immediately Tesla's able to take down Iliak, but ACOG's able to take down Tesla. So that will be a bit of an opener. Diffuser will be dropped down. So now ACOG needing to be careful for the side of Shiro. If Shiro starts to make the push, but Rella's going to be dropped. So Panic are playing extremely well. ACOG's able to find one onto Shiro and onto Rella. So he's on a triple kill in this round. The threat that he poses is massive. No peek's going to be made from Flux as 30 seconds starts to tick onto the board. The peek's going to be made. Universe will confirm that kill. He doesn't lose as... Never mind, I take it back. Flux will be able to confirm the kill onto Universe. And ACOG will look to put a plant down. Smoke's going to go out, so he'll have to flank a long position here. Moves through security corridor in towards servers. Needs to be careful about the positioning. May not spot out this player that is moving in towards servers. He's just going to be covering back towards the site now. ACOG set up his shield. He will be able to see Flux. Flux will smoke grenade far. That will get ACOG removed from his position. Peek will come through. Flux only needs 2 players though. Peek is going to be spotted, as once again he'll smoke out the diffuser, expecting a player to be there. He may be able to just go straight for this diffuser. There may be no way to stop him right now, as it looks like Wall of Wizardry will make the rotation. He'll need to take the kill here, but not found. Panic will tie it up 2-2.
Look, that's a damn good effort from Flux there. Beautifully played by Flux. Unfortunately, unable to get the round, but you can't win all of them. It was a good attempt. Now they're going to have that top floor unlocked again. They're going to head back up there, where they were just absolutely dominant. So I will. It will be up to Panic to make the adjustments, get it ready, and see if they can best ride up here on top floor.
Well, regardless of how it is, regardless of how it could be, Riot now immediately taking back upstairs. They know that they need to secure this round upstairs before they can make the push downstairs to secure that. Now, they've won this round before, but Panic, they have now played against this setup. They've played against this playstyle that Riot Gaming, sorry, has already set up on. So it's going to be very interesting to see how these two teams will go up against each other now that this site has been exposed and the players have been seen.
We're going to see a little bit of a change up. We're going to see that Amaru come into play. Universe, I believe he's going to hope to get that aggression into Big Tower very early on. No Big Tower players here from Syra?
Syra?
Hello? Alright, Syra wanted to nerf his team, but that's okay. He decided that, hey, I don't want your canisters. Or is he... No, he would have put them out. He just put his canisters out and said, yeah, look, I don't need you anymore. That's fine, Azes. Just take to the cams for the round.
Still not
You're-
sure if that's the greatest idea and the greatest way to start it off there, Shiro, but especially killing your top fragger, but regardless, here comes the push in from Panic. And you can already see the play is going to be close, but he's immediately picked up. And I'm not sure that was the best play for the side of Riot, nerfing yourself on this side as well. Yikers, regardless, Panic, they all look to make their push in. As the drones start to come through, one's going to be spotted out. Universe able to spot out two, as Flux and Tesla immediately off the board. What is happening? What is going on? Rella's left by himself, and ACOG will just confirm it up. Panic will take the lead in this series.
I'm just going to write that round off. That round didn't happen. In terms of statistics and everything, that round didn't happen.
No, I think it happened.
The unfortunate TK, not a lot you can do about it. That friendly fire only being applicable during the prep phase. It does not exist once the round has started.
Sorry, I'm just questioning.
you just lost for words. That's perfectly fine.
I'm absolutely lost for words, and their choice is to go back downstairs for this side hold. Again, Panic, they've versed this already twice, so they should know the best way to approach it now. Regardless, though, it's going to be very interesting to see how they set themselves up for this downstairs site. They know that Panic have already had 2 chances at this site. So, I mean, what's the play here? All 5 members are going to be changing their operators. That looks like the play. Because ACOG will be jumping onto Osa. Wall of Wizardry onto Thatcher. Iliac onto Habana. Universe onto Iana. And Nuki onto the good old Dokkaebi again. So we get to see the play being made. But you never know what's going to come out of Panic Esports when they're set up, when they're on the roll. And it really feels like they've got that momentum at their back.
Yeah, they got the momentum rolling for them. Riot sort of need to change their playstyle the tiniest bit. We need to see a tiny bit more aggression come out from them. But it's hard to be aggressive when Panic are just clearing out things as well as they are. They're putting 3-4 players in a roam clear, and it becomes virtually impossible to get a frag or at least take one with you. Like, you can see it now. You got one big tower repel, one sitting outside, one in big tower. Syra is just getting swarmed by everyone in Panic right now. He's going to retreat back to site. That's what he's going to do.
It's going to be interesting because Azaz looks like he's taking a lot of damage off site. And I'm not sure who exactly that was from. Even more damage to add on to it. Iliac, the heart breacher of all things, getting aggressive and starting to just cause a lot of issues for the side of Riot, as now the health disadvantage will be there for Riot. But regardless, Panic will look to move in to the next set of rounds. Well, the next setup, I should say. As immediately 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining. Flux looking to get a bit aggressive. Will be spotted out as the Gemini will be the problem child for Flux right now. As his position may be known. A good nade can remove him off this board. But 1 minute and 20 seconds are left as we start to see the push coming in from Panic. They'll start to open up. The hatches start to open up a bit of intel. No one's going to be pushing down main just yet. As on the opposite end, we're going to see ACOG. He's going to be in the perfect position to counteract any sort of plays coming in for the bunker side. Taking a few shots there, so he knows that a player is on that good old 90 hall. Universe almost sticking the nade perfectly down onto Flux, as he'll fall back in towards the site. Again though, this timer, it's such a significant problem. As Iliac will start to make his way in, now figured out, so now they know a player's pushing down main. Universe will need to find a kill, and will need to find it quick. The good old Thermite EMP is going to come into play as Universe will be able to spot out the head. That's going to be Tesla taken off, and that is a really good start for Panic. Universe will be able to find a second. Rella's able to take down Iliac. 20 seconds remaining on the board. Ready, set, go! Nuki's able to find one. ACOG's able to find one, and Universe will find one of the last, but Panic in a swift cleanup will find all of Riot. And they will have the advantage going into this second half.
I wasn't even able to get it all. It just happened so fast. I knew it was going to be a gun fest just there at the end. It was just going to be kills left, right, and center, but I couldn't keep up with it. Panic just out here, just walking in a sight, going, "Yep, I'll take that one, and that one, please." 4-2 half for them as they head onto the defense.
4-2 half. Panic showing all the teams in this competition that you cannot count them out. As well as they can play, you just cannot. ACOG and Universe, the two men that were so problematic to a lot of the teams in the last season. It's just going to be so incredibly interesting to see how these two players play. And I mean, you can see it right now. 9 kills for Universe, 8 kills for ACOG. What a demolishing half they've had so far. But now, here is where we start to see the Riot that we were looking for. Riot Games, now on the attacking side. Will they be able to switch up their playstyles? Will they be able to turn this round? Have they warmed up enough to get into this match? It all comes down to what happens in the next 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
That's the kind of structure that I was mentioning earlier. You see Flux just cycling through his cams as they clear top floor, make it completely known that they'll eventually find Nuki upstairs, but they'll find that most of it's clear, and then they can roam around. And I believe they've got all the rotates cut off as well. They got main lobby, they got green. It's all just cut off. You're not going to be able to get back to site without some help from your team here.
Well, Nuki playing a very interesting position. This is not one that you commonly see for a lot of the roamers, but it will be interesting regardless. Drones are going to start to make their way through as they will be able to easily identify out one, but that's going to be Rella, and he is a problem child for Panic as he will immediately be taken off the board. But look at this. Oh my lord, Shiro able to pick up Wizardry as the drone will be dropped down below and immediately picked up thanks to the hatch, but they will confirm that kill. Now it's going to be down to 3 members on that site as the Buck will just confirm the kill onto Nuki. And now 2 minutes and 30 seconds remain on the board. 3 members of Panic alive, 5 members for Riot. It looks like the problem child for Riot Games is no longer there, and they can just look to immediately open. Okay, there we go. The utility is perfectly presented by Iliak, as it looks like the EMPs are not actually able to pick it up, and I have no... It's underneath. I can just barely see the tip there. Regardless, though, it's in the perfect position to be counter EMP'd, as now they'll need to look to push straight down towards the site. There's no pressure that they can really apply except from the back stairs, but with 40 seconds remaining on the board, they're going to need to make a push quite quickly. First smoke grenade is going to go in, so that will deny a little bit of time for the push to come in, and there's still 2 smoke grenades left for Universe, so his position and his playstyle is perfect for this, as now 30 seconds will remain on the board. But ACOG, he's playing good old Tachanka, but whoa, what just happened? As we see Riot come back with a setup of their own, the push just comes in, and immediately all the members are pushed off the board.
Yeah, Riot coming in, and that's the structure I'm talking about. Like, you see Panic's chaoticness of, like, pushing sites and being aggressive and everything like that. Riot's is all calculated, and all of them there. You saw Aza's aggressing with the 2 from main stairs. And it's all coordinated. It's all at the same time. You see him push down, take that freezer control while his team take the main site. It's just beautiful coordination to watch, and it's really satisfying to watch as well. And it awards them rounds like that. But looks like we're going to be seeing the same sort of setup out here from Panic. But we're going to see that Tachanka move over to a cup can. Not the same person playing the cup can, but those cup cans can prove to be quite annoying if not droned correctly. So we will have to wait and see what comes from Riot here, whether their droning's effective. Once again, Flux cycling those rotations, making sure no one can get out alive. This is once again looking a beautiful start from Riot. They've just got to be careful of these cap gun traps. That's about it.
Well, we can start to see the setup there for Riot as they all look to make the push in. Top floor clearance all the way down to the bottom as they expect someone to be on the upstairs sort of section, but it looks like they're not going to be prepped for this upstairs hold, and they're not even going to have their roamer set up for the upstairs hold. Still, all 5 members set in a bunker situation. Bunker the site, hold it all down, make sure none of your team members die early, and just let them take all the time in the world to clear it all up. Regardless though, we can't really see too much play coming in from Riot, and I believe they're starting to clear it up immediately here. They now know that it's going to be difficult to get these hatches open, but the question is, where exactly is the denial that they just had? And you can immediately see it. They're going to get that hatch open straight off the bat, so no utility is going to be used. That hatch was completely soft, and they left it soft for a reason. But here we go. Panic, it's up to you now.
This could very much dismantle Riot. Riot spent that time clearing out angles and everything like that, expecting to see this roam, but Panic have decided to switch it up and play more of a turtle on site, and that's going to allow them to be in a 5v5 here. However, last time we saw a 5v5 on this site was our last offensive round from Riot, and Panic were able to take it off on the attack. So Panic have to be careful how they play this if it becomes a gun show. Riot have been looking pretty damn good.
Well, 45 seconds remaining on the board as Riot will be 3-4, and this round may be the tire, as it looks like Rella will try and make the peek on towards Iliac, but no peek is going to be made. He doesn't really need to give away his position too much, as they'll look to get rid of Iliac's camera. So that information is going to be brought down. 25 seconds remain on the board. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen, because it's about to go very quick and about to go very fast. As we'll see the basic sort of setup, as this is going to be the first one dropped down. ACOG's able to find the kill there. The push will come through. ACOG's able to find a second, as now Flux is able to find one on Iliac. Wall of Wizardry able to find one on Shire. ACOG's able to find one on Torella. 1 member's remaining. It's down to Flux. He needs to clear as 4 members will be in sight. ACOG will find a quadra kill. And Panic will take another round. And a different side.
Damn, Tiaki. Do you need some water after that? That's just like...
Rap god, my friend.
Dude, you just went for it. You're just like going at it. We could always trust on you to do some absolutely insane late round casting. It's always a pleasure. But...
Love to see it.
I guess I kind of ate my words. I said a 5v5 last time it happened, and Panic were able to take it out on the attack. They're able to do it on the defense too. And now they head back to the top floor to try to secure themselves their first points. Take themselves to overtime, to match point, and guarantee themselves at least overtime.
Well, the basic sort of setup is going to be put into play. Round number 9 will be coming onto the board. And as we could tell from Riot, I think what happened there is, yes, they droned up enough, but there wasn't enough pressure. Once again, they had that area open, but they pushed for all of their members to come down main and all of their members to come down freezer. There wasn't really a push towards bunker. There wasn't really a push towards the backstairs. They need that pressure pulled up, but regardless, it is unfortunate for them. So we'll start to see the push coming in from Riot as they will look to try and pull the rounds a bit closer together. But with the way Panic is currently going, the back and forth situation that seems to be happening. It looks like Panic will have the ability to take control of this next round, but immediately a nade through the floor. Iliak will be found. We have immediately lost a player for the side of Panic, and I mean, they've got 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. What else do you expect?
Look, being Wamai, you may be able to stop grenades. You're not going to be able to stop grenades below you, unfortunately. Rella, Riot just decided to come in here and just said, look, we're not going to bother to roam clear you. We're just going to come fight you directly on site and see what happens. So Rella taking out most of his HP are rather unfortunate. They're just going to have Wizardry here just completely replace the spot, and it sort of makes it a bit harder. This wall is going to be slightly difficult with Habana. Usually you would see an ace or a thermite here, but look, you can't stop Tesla. Tesla's like, yep, I'll make it rotate, no problem at all, no issues. But that Azami, the first one missing, going straight through the wall, unfortunately not going to be able to do anything.
Well, now we'll start to see a bit of the last bits of preparation being made. Shiro, with a long peek into Attic, is able to confirm the kill onto Wizardry as Nuki almost taking damage. He is not online this evening. It looks like he's actually kind of struggling so far. Only 2 deaths, but... sorry, only 3 deaths, but only 2 kills. We normally see him going for the big plays, but it looks like he's willing to play a bit further back, as we'll start to see a repel being made. Tesla's going to take a lot of damage as the plant's going to be attempted. ACOG needs to start making his move, as he's immediately going to be taken off the board. Riot Gaming come in with a flawless round.
They've woken up. They're here. That structure that I continue to talk about is finally here to its fullest extent. A flawless, not even a single frag taken off. And they've just said to Panic, like, hey, look, you might be able to frag us. You might be able to do some crazy stuff, but you ain't stopping us from getting a dub right now.
Well, regardless, here we go. Coming in to round number 10. And as you mentioned, this is a very close game. Could definitely end up going to OT if it leads it to B. But I'm not sure exactly what it's going to end up being in total. Regardless, though, we'll see. Come on, Wizard. You can get it. There we go. Wizard able to chuck up a proximity alarm instead of his Wamai charge. So we'll see a very interesting position. Very interesting sort of setup. Panic, knowing that they need to change around their playstyle, may just choose to get a bit aggressive, and I think you can see that by the operator that has been picked by Nuki. It looks like he wants to go onto the roam, start playing his old aggressive ways, and I hope we see it, to be honest.
Yeah, no, we won't be seeing it for much longer. If you are able to, have you read the patch notes at all, Tiaki?
I have, I believe. I may have missed something.
He's losing his 1.5. It's going to become a significantly different roam operator. You're not going to be able to get those big angles or anything like that, but... And Wamai's getting his 1.5 back. So it will be very exciting to see.
That's a good option. At least he's getting it back at this stage. Regardless, Nuki, he'll be on the search here. You expect to see the best roam presence being from him. Rella still sitting on that upstairs angle. Going to be watching all the way down, making sure that no push comes in from Nuki. But Nuki actually decides to make the drop away. He doesn't really want to play this position any longer than he has to. And it looks like they are happy to give up the breach in towards Attic. As now we'll see Nuki starting to make his way back towards the site. So I think, once again, we're going for this bunker site hold. Never mind, he's going all the way into small tower, looking to see if he can prep double door to try and counteract it.
But it's not going to be too much use because we've got no one sitting outside double door. Universe, Iliak, straight off, opening up the round. Shut off from that repel. And Universe, what is... He's just gunning people. 2 for the round for him. quickly
Yes.
dismantling, and I believe they'll be moving over to match point here. There's not a lot you can do here in a 2v5.
Immediately, Riot are able to pick up a few, but it's always Panic all the time. As Universe coming in with a triple kill for that round. And that will be that for the side of Panic, as they will now, with 2 rounds to spare, go into match point.
They've done themselves the duty of securing at least 1 point. If you're unaware of the point system, it's pretty much the standard comp point system. If you get yourself to 6 points and you get yourself to match point, you guarantee yourself 1 point. If you go to overtime, both teams are guaranteed at least 1 point. The team that wins gets 2. But should you win in standard regulation, you get a whopping 3 points, while the other team gets none.
Well, what an interesting side to take it down to, as we'll be going down to the good old bunker. So, a bit of preparation and a bit of setup is going to need to be set here. You can immediately see it. Look at who Iliak is playing. We saw how well he played on the Kaid last time to counteract anything that Rella was really planning to do. And so the question is, will they be able to prep this up? Or will they be able to finally open up this hatch?
I'm curious as to where he puts them. This is what I want to see. It's not a hard one to counter. You just got to throw your EMP correctly. And look, hopefully they've learnt their lesson. Rella's hopefully going to keep himself alive to get those those Cades taken off the board. And a little bit of a late one. Iliak being thrown to the wolves and told to go upstairs and reinforce Freezer hatch. But a little presence from Riot here. Really just entered into the building, and Rella being very quick at clearing out top floor. I believe they're just going to believe no one's above, and to no avail, no one is going to be above. We're going to be seeing that 5-man turtle yet again.
Oh, Wall of Wizardry is going to be taking a little bit of damage. I believe that was from Az's there. As never mind, Shiro there as he looks to try and see if he can pick up that player that's sitting all the way down bottom. Nuki going, wow, as a general haul for no apparent reason, but I guess we will see it. Iliak almost spotting out one player there, almost finding the kill, but will not be able to find it right now. He will go to charge it, and immediately I don't think he hears it, but it's going to be a bit late for those charges to go off, and I don't think either Tesla knows that charge has actually been activated. So now we'll start to see EMPs are going to be going back down, and they will be able to open up this wall this time, as immediately it's going to be dropped back. Here we go, though. 1 minute and 18 seconds remaining.
Yeah, look, doesn't really matter if where the Cade is. Rella able to find Wizardry slightly out of place, but yeah, it doesn't matter about those Cades if you got Thatcher on the board. You just yeet it at it and it's done for you. So they're going to be able to get a bit of control based off of that frag. That pillar's going to be super open, but you still do have to deal with Universe. Rella still not done. Universe got plenty of time to deny the entry into sight. Going to get aggressive for an unknown reason. Universe going to be shut off the board. No need to really do this, and this is some really good control here from Riot. This round's going to come down to the wire for them. Time's starting to run out. Rella for 3 in the round. Going to get refragged out by Iliak. Quick and done. The C4 going to get tossed out over the pillar. No damage going to be done. Syro going to take a little bit. Syro's going to get aggressive. He's going to take it up, and he's going to take him straight down. Aze is going to walk through and finish off the round by taking out Nuki. It ain't over just yet. They want to go to overtime. How did he survive that C4?
We will never, ever, don't question it, never know. Regardless, though, it looks like Riot will be able to pick up the round. So they edge ever closer towards that match point victory. And I'm not sure if it's the best idea to be going back downstairs. I think what's going to end up happening is Panic now realize that they cannot be playing downstairs fully in the preparation and in the setup that they did in the last round. Once again, we'll be seeing the same sort of setup being brought into play, as it looks like Nuki will be jumping on to the Aruni as a different change, and Wizardry will be jumping off from the Jaeger on to the Thunderbird. So a little bit of switch up, but not a huge amount. Universe still being on that smoke, Iliac still being on that Kaid, but as a general whole, Riot seem to be in full control of making this push all the way down in towards the site. They have the ability, they have the plans that they need to get that push, but no one is on Rome, and if no one is on Rome, then it's just not usable. They're not enough of a threat, and we can see Nuki, I think he's just going to fall straight back to site here. It does look like he's going to be doing that, as Riot now will start to make their push up, and this is looking scary. Universe on the opposite end will be able to get the most brilliant pick to start off his team on the winning circle, as they're able to pick up an immediate kill onto Shiro. So now it is down to 4 members from the side of Riot. They have a lot to clear and a lot to push up on, and with 1 member down, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Luckily, no main vitals were really hurt off that. They still have their hard breach. They still have their entry fragger with frag grenades. They still have Rella, who's got the good old EMP charges. But if Iliac has placed his good old Kaids in the right place, it's going to be a little bit of a problematic position. Correction, they're called electro claws. I didn't mean to say Kaids. Regardless, minute and 50 seconds remaining on the board.
Yeah, my only talking point of this round was going to be the Ying, because the fact that they have no nade denial. But Universe kind of just gave me nothing now, because he's decided to take Sire out very early, and those Yings are going to be to no use at all. Once again, the Thatcher going to be able to open up those hatches. The Electro Claws not going to be much use when Thatcher can get it, but it is still some utility wasted. So Panic looking very good to close us out, and Tiaki to get his prediction right of a 7-5.
Regardless, we'll start to see the move up. 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining, as Az is now trying to figure out the best position, the best way to make a play, the best move to really move on to, as the drones will start to go through. 2 players going into bunker, so this is going to be a backstairs take, and I think the player upside Freezer doesn't really understand the exact position that this push is going to come from. Regardless, though, they'll now start to see it. Wizardry is going to take a little bit of damage as he'll fall straight back into the site. Can look to get fully healed up. 5 members for the side of Panic are still remaining. 35 seconds remain on the board. The push, it's going to come a little bit late, and it all comes down to the last bits of play here. Rella and Tesla both going to take a bit of damage as the knockdown's going to come through. Universe, such a threat, will be able to smoke one out, as Wizardry will be able to find one onto Rella. Azza now taking a little bit of damage. That's going to be coming in from the Aruni. 2 players still down and on the move. Flux, you need to get this plant down. You're wasting time. The diffuser's going to be dropped. Wall of Wizardry will confirm the final kill. And GG's to both of these 2 teams as Panic pick it up 7-5.
Yeah, just like that, Tiaki. You called it a 7-5.